guys, thank you so much for joining us today. We are Vacay Mode Travels. That is Sarah. I am Alden. We are already in March, and we thought, you know what, let's switch it up a little bit today. We talk so much about logistics and all the technicals that go into a destination wedding. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to choose the perfect destination wedding color palette and how that applies to all our couples.
Yes, forever destination weddings have always been about the beautiful locations, but in 2026, 2027, destination wedding couples are taking it a step further. So now we want to incorporate the natural beauty of the destination to help pick out our color palette. And there are some creative ways that you can do this. We're going to focus today on breaking down 3 specific destinations. We're going to talk about the Riviera Maya, the Caribbean, and the Amalfi Coast. So those are the 3 we're going to focus on.
I love Amalfi.
Yes, rather than couples have always traditionally built a Pinterest board, looked at online boards, they've put all this thought into this color palette, but maybe it didn't necessarily fit the destination that they were planning to get married in. So now the new trend is, let's consider the destination, let's consider the natural beauty of that destination, and let's use it to define our color palette for our destination wedding. When you do this right, it helps you get a wedding that feels effortless, timeless, and ideally suited to the destination, rather than having some trendy, color palette that may feel dated in the years to come.
And why is that important? Because it does bring a lot of cohesiveness to how the night and vibe, turns out. Remember, you only get one crack at this. You don't want to look back on your pictures and think, man, a lot of these colors just clashed or they didn't go well. Also, a lot of the resorts now are having kind of a pre-made
themed wedding packages.
Weddings that are color coded that work really well for that resort. So they've done the homework on them, and then all you need to do is just choose which one you want best. So let's start with Riviera Maya. We're looking at the elevated beach romance theme. The Riviera Maya continues to be one of the most sought after destination wedding locations for good reason. It has white sand beaches, warm climate, luxurious resorts. We know all that. For 26 and 27, couples are elevating the traditional beach wedding look for a more intentional, place-inspired colored palettes. The vibe they're looking for is warm, romantic, and elevated. The color palette that they're looking for includes warm ivory, soft sand tones, terracotta, those clay colors, brown for depth and contrast, and then muted sun-washed blues are the main colors that they're looking for to go along with a lot of these resorts in Riviera Maya.
And this is really, think about barefoot elegance without sacrificing sophistication. That's a lot of the times what couples are looking for in the Riviera Maya. They want it to be sophisticated, elevated, but they don't want to have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on decor to make it feel very cohesive and put together. And that's where this color palette really comes into play.
Yeah, that's another nice thing to mention is that instead of trying to bring your vision or what you think might work best, the resort is just going to be naturally beautiful, and there are certain colors that work so best for this. Why does this work so well? These colors reflect the region's natural beauty. Soft neutrals reflect the sand and limestone architecture. The clay draws on local textures, and the browns ground the design, making it feel rich rather than overly casual.
And you probably notice this a lot in resorts too. They have the wooden finishes on everything. We see like those boho arches, and this really draws all of those things together and makes it look like it all goes together. It's not just like your vision dropped at this resort.
Yes, and how couples are using it, they are opting for neutral ceremony setups with wood and stone accents, layered florals and creamy tones, and receptions filled with candlelight and texture. This look is timeless, it's romantic, it's intentionally designed, it's perfect for couples seeking a refined beach destination wedding.
Yes, and that is the most common request that we get, is for that sophisticated beach wedding. Oftentimes could be on a beach or a terrace. So this one we see a lot, and we are seeing a lot more of the couples using those browns, the terracottas, the ivories and the blues, last year, this year, and in the weddings that we're planning in the future. So another destination that we hear about a lot is the Caribbean. And although we specialize in Mexico, we do occasionally have couples that want to get married in the Caribbean. They may decide on Mexico in the long run due to the overall value. Sometimes they stick with Caribbean. Really just depends on the couple. But when we talk about the Caribbean, it's such a favorite destination because it's vibrant, it's welcoming, it's full of life. And for weddings happening in 26 and 27, the color is moving towards rich color paired with polished design. So the vibe of this is going to feel more celebratory, joyful, elegant, and it's going to include colors like emerald greens, sapphire blues, even ocean blues, and for some of those more muted colors, the warm ivories and soft neutrals. And why these colors work really well in the Caribbean is the color palette enhances the natural surrounding rather than competing with it. So the jewel tones echo the ocean, the lush landscapes, while the neutrals give it some balance and sophistication. So how couples are using this in the Caribbean: jewel tones bridesmaids dresses, bold floral moments, layered tablescapes are some of the popular choices that we see. Maybe some daytime events that feel breezy and festive, while evening receptions transition into more of an elegant, high energy celebration. So this color palette is ideal for couples who want their wedding to feel joyful, elevated, and unforgettable.
Yep. When you think of Caribbean, for me, I just think very, very lush. And that's one thing we should mention too with Mexico is that, you know, in the Riviera Maya, that is super lush as well versus the Pacific West Coast, Cabo area. That's going to be more open desert. It's going to be maybe more whitewash style. So just destination can be different depending on where you're at. But when I think of Caribbean, definitely very, very lush. Let's look at Amalfi Coast. So this stretch of Italy where the old world meets modern romance. For couples drawn to romance, history, and dramatic scenery, the Amalfi Coast continues to be a dream destination for 26 and 27 weddings. The vibe they're looking for is cinematic, timeless, and romantic with a modern edge. And the color palette they're looking for are dusky blues, rich emeralds, deep plum accents, espresso browns, and soft tones with aged ivory. Amalfi, why this works so well is this palette reflects the soul of Amalfi Coast. Deep tones add drama and elegance, while soft neutrals mirror historic architecture and sun-washed stone. Espresso adds warmth and depth that adds photography.
And if you have not seen the Amalfi Coast, you need to, because it is stunning. One of my favorite places. It was definitely a bucket list for me. But I think once you see these destinations in person, these color palettes make a lot more sense on why these would really highlight that destination.
Yeah, I think of just so much coastline that you have to work with. You're probably, if you're having a wedding in Amalfi, you're probably having a great backdrop with a beautiful ocean view. It might not be, but otherwise, if you're inland a little bit, that stretch of Italy is just beautiful. How couples are using it: ceremonies framed by stone backdrops, moody tablescapes with candlelight and sculptural florals define this look. The results feel editorial, romantic, and timeless rather than trendy. And I would completely agree because that stretch of Amalfi has so much history, old stonework, vineyards, just beautiful, beautiful landscape.
Yeah, and just to talk a little bit about why color palettes are being inspired by the destination and how this is defining weddings moving forward, this trend is really resonating because it simplifies the planning process while elevating the final result in your celebration. When your color palette is rooted in the destination, every design decision feels more natural and cohesive. So designing your destination wedding this way, it creates a seamless experience across your entire wedding celebration. It helps avoid overly trendy choices that may feel dated later. And it allows the destination to become part of the wedding story. And ultimately, when we're meeting with couples, that's such an important part of the celebration is oftentimes there's meaning on why they chose that destination. So adding in this color palette trend just takes that to the next level. So the most memorable destination weddings are the ones that feel intentional from start to finish. And when you're incorporating a color palette based on the destination, it gives it that natural intention that doesn't feel forced. So if you are looking to plan a destination wedding, we'd love to get to know you better, your vision, your budget, and help match you to the perfect destination and resort that's going to deliver that experience for you and your guests.
The only thing I would add to that is, remember, when you start meeting with your florist and whatnot, one of the first questions they're going to ask is, what colors are you looking to use?
What kind of vibe are you looking for?
Yep, and having that information is just going to make their job a lot easier. It's going to help us all out to try to get that vision complete in destination.
Yes. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, post them in the comments. We would love to help, and safe travels.
Take care.